Coming up on Hold All Tickets, final Group 1 races in Melbourne this spring carnival. Lammy, we are at the end of it.
Yeah, limping to the finish line. We've lined up on one at double figure odds in the Thousand Guineas. Give it strength.
You're quite keen on a Kieran Maher horse in the Sir Rupert Clarke Stakes, Pegs.
I most certainly am. The stars shall align.
Of course, it's also Hunter Day up in Sydney as Newcastle has their time to shine. All the tips coming your way right now on Hold All Tickets. Hello and welcome to Hold All Tickets. It is Thursday, November 14th. We charge into the last Group 1s of the Melbourne Spring Carnival. I'm your host, Alex Donnelly, and as always, I'm joined by James Lamb and Xavier Pegum. Lammy, how are we?
Very well. Looking forward to Saturday. A lot of depth in the two Group 1s. Good betting races.
Pegs, how are we?
Devastated. I want the carnival to start back up again so we can go through the last 4 weeks all over again.
Well, it extends, mate. We've got Perth coming up. We've got 3 Group 1s from Western Australia coming our way in the coming weeks as well. So party doesn't end just yet.
And Boom Better's sending us over there.
Are they?
Well, if you want to, please do.
He's asking that. Of course, we are brought to you by Boom Bet. Great fixed odds, more value, and more Boom moments. Sign up today and get in on the Boom. As said, it is a big weekend of racing, of course, as we do have the Rupert Clarke and the 1,000 Guineas at Caulfield. It is Hunter Day at Newcastle, so just a lot of money for a race at Newcastle because PVL said, why not? All right, on today's show, as always, Self-Trumpeter of the Week, the tips and the best bets for Caulfield and Newcastle, as well as the Group 1 tips from all 3 of us. Now, before we get going, make sure you subscribe, follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, leave a 5-star rating and a review, give a comment, and of course, YouTube. It is just at Punters. Get across us on Facebook, Instagram, and X. Doing a bunch of stuff there at the moment. But as always, we do kick off the show with the Self-Trumpeter of the Week. Lammy, how was the back end of Cup Week for the Trumpeters?
Bit quieter. Yeah, not as many votes as the last 2 weeks, but there was still a little bit of action. A few repeat offenders. Yep. I will get into the votes now. We'll start with one for Damien Ratcliffe. A worthy trumpet, but a trumpet all the same. Damo, he tipped the lights out on Champions Day, and he just tipped a couple of winners early in the card. And Briggsy posed the question on X, who can get me out of this punting hole I'm in? Damo chimed in with, jump on my back, Briggsy. It was real sort of Wolf of Wall Street beating the chest vibes from Damo. So he gets one vote.
To be honest.
2 votes, Miles Fitzner. Now, you might think I'm picking on Miles, but I have to play every ball on its merits, and I can't ignore his bugle blowing just because of its frequency.
Yep.
So he gets 2 votes for this. On Friday evening, Miles posted a photo of him and presumably his better half at the races with the caption, haters hate, winners, well, they just win. And Miles's bonce was actually taking up prime real estate in the selfie with his partner just off to the side a little bit. So he gets 2 votes for that. 2 votes also for the Wiz, Wayne Ormond. Now, the Wiz was the one who found Mr. Brightside in New Zealand all those seasons ago, and he never misses an opportunity to remind us of that
prolific.
fact. Yep.
We love him.
After Mr. B won his 8th Group 1 last Saturday, Wayne tweeted, I'll take this one, Mr. Brightside. You are the Messiah. Finding that freak. So he's talking about himself. Finding that freak. Salute emoji followed by a heap of boxing gloves. So, look, if I was the one who found Mr. Brightside, I'd probably remind people all the time as well.
I hope he's still got 10% of it because he's won, 16 million or something?
Yeah, he's won a fair bit. 8 Group 1s for Mr. Brightside. So, well done to the Wiz.
That's what we call a life changer.
2 votes.
Originally bought for 22,000 NZ.
Yeah, I know. Imagine you're the one that sold him.
Shut.
2 votes, the last 2 votes for this week. Rhino at Shannon T. Fortune. Emma O'Brien tweeted, Wooten Bassett, who will stand at a career high £300,000 for 2025 at Coolmore Stud, accompanied by a photo of the horse in question. Rhino quote tweeted with, I saw this coming years ago. Always spooked him from day one as a game-changing stallion prospect. Clap, clap, bicep flex. So 2 votes for Rhino there. Saw this coming years ago. Come on, Rhino. Yeah. That's the votes for this week.
Geez, if he was on board at Coolmore, the lads would be nice and happy with him then. Going, hey, boys, couple of years, 325,000. All right, let's get to what is the opposite of trumpeting. It is last week's results. Pegs got away with one here because his best bet was Prince Eric and it was scratched. going around at Donald this weekend.
Yeah, would have gone 1 from 6. Obviously, had that race day. It was a terrible week.
Yeah, your next best was kinesiology.
Yeah, pretty disappointing given the hype that was sort of surrounding him. Especially, I was pretty bullish as well. But I think just like a lot of these European stays, just probably needs a bit of time to adjust to Australian conditions. You know, Buckaroo didn't have a flash hot spring last year, and look at what Chris Waller's been able to do. So I'm praying that Chris can sort of sprinkle his magic.
Or maybe he needed a race that went at faster than hurdle pace.
Yeah, anyway.
Your best value was Bellatrix Star. She was tired.
Yeah, no, she's had enough this prep, I think, and I hope to see her head to the paddock and get some rest because, listen, she certainly deserves it. She's really come on. And,
that's enough.
Yeah, don't need
it. Lammy, your best bet was kinesiology. Anything to add?
No. I mean, the tempo was against, but the fact that he was probably a length off the winner at the 400 and was beaten 7 or 8 lengths doesn't bode that well.
No.
But Pegs mentioned he might just need a bit of time.
Your next best was Array Magnerio, and after being beaten an inch in 2 starts, he won by an inch.
I thought he was going to get rolled again too, but he just lifted very late in the piece and held off Roderick, who was huge in dead heating for second.
Your value was Bellatrix Star to finish off.
Yep, end of prep run, jumped on at the wrong time, couldn't carry myself and Pegs.
My best bet at Rose Hill was Territory Express, won by 3. That was bloody torturous to watch.
Yeah, that was grim.
Yeah, next best was Unique Ambition. He's in the paddock. Tells you how he went. And Conrad was well backed, loomed up, did not much, beaten 3.5, running 6th.
That's a yuck set.
Just horrendous. All right, let's get to the tips for the Group 1 features this weekend. Of course, the 1,000 Guineas for the 3-year-old fillies over 1,600 metres. I do love the change of this race because it gives the 3-year-old fillies something else to aim at if they miss the early part of the spring. Righto, Lammy, you can open us up here. Who are you tipping?
Going with Lovely Cut. I think the favourite will be very hard to beat, but Lovely Cut each way, I think around the $10 or $11 mark as we record. I'm willing to forgive her unplaced effort last start. She was slightly slow away and then was revved up to race just off the leaders, which isn't her usual pattern. We haven't seen her do that before. Didn't quicken in the straight, but she was 1,200 from a heavy track to 1,400 for the first time on a pretty firm deck. Didn't need to be peaking that day. I think there's a lot of improvement to come. Quite a ride. I think she'll be zooming late. And this has been the target since basically her last prep where she won 2 on the bounce. Reece Goodwin came out and said 1,000 Guineas next spring, third up, which is what she is on Saturday.
I like it. Pegs?
Yeah, pretty bit long odds here, but I'm going to go with Too Darn Lizzie. I'll forgive her last start, but I'm going to focus on her winning the 1,000 Guineas Prelude where she sort of relished that softer surface. Given the price, I'm going to go each way, and I'm pretty eager to see her take Z-Tongue on.
Yeah, all right. I'm also with Lovely Cut. Lovely Cut currently $10.40 and $3.05 with Boombet. I think sitting back in the field on a day where it looks like there's going to be some headwinds, so I think they'll go a bit slower in front, and it could advantage the swoopers with the good turn of foot, and I think she has a very good turn of foot. As of note, Too Darn Lizzie, $16 and $4.25. Let's get to the Rupert Clark, or what it could be named as the Kieran Maher Benefit. I'm with another Will. I think he's better suited at the weights. He keeps Jamie Carr, whereas Jimmy loses Blake Shin. I think barrier 1 for Jimmy isn't great. I think another Will gets a better run on the map, and that's why I'm going to tip him. I'm not going to fall in the same trap I did the other day. Pretty happy to back him. Lammy, are you with Jimmy or Will?
I was with Will last start, but I'm going to jump over to the Jimmy train this week. 1.5 kilos swing in the weights. I'm not sure barrier 1 will be that bad for him. We've seen him race close to the pace a couple of times. I think he could even end up tagging another Will in the run with a clean beginning. But I know you mentioned Blake Shin. He does seem to have a very good rapport with this horse. So him off is a bit of a negative, but I am going with Jimmy. He might just have a little bit more upside this prep, 4th up. Another Will's been up for a little bit longer, but yeah, I don't think there's much between them. And then you got Southport Tycoon as well, but he's drawn terribly.
Yeah, I'm with another Will, probably just like you said before. Map's a lot better drawing barrier 5. Jay Carr on board be really nice to see him get his first Group 1 win.
Well, yeah, Cole McKenna did say he was a Group 1 horse in the waiting, so let's hope it does come true for that.
So how the hell did Macram beat Jimmy Star that day? That horse has done absolutely
Wagga form,
nothing
mate. Wagga form.
No, it wasn't. That's not Wagga form. That's not Wagga
Came
form
9th
as
at
well.
Wagga.
I just think
race.
those colours just have the wood over Jim.
Feeding.
So Jimmy Star, $2.95 currently with Boombet, and Another Will, $3.95. So that brings you to the email we do have from Chris at Boombet leading into this weekend. So in the 1,000 Guineas, they are very keen to take on Aliana. Appears to be well under the odds for them. Punters seem to agree as they haven't taken many bets on her yet. They expect a Zetong to shorten up, but nothing real as of yet. They're happy to see some interest in Lovely Cut because they think she will firm, and they're taking some large early bets on Bennegill, which is very interesting. In the Rupert Clark, they're happy to take on Another Will. Think he's too short, hasn't stopped some early bets coming through. They think Jim is going to shorten up. They think Jimmy will start shorter than $2.50. And they've carried some big futures interest on War Machine at $26, which is a big liability leading into this race. Across to Newcastle, the Hunter. They think the market is about right with Far Too Easy and Briasa for Team Hawks. They will be follow the money as they've marked them appropriately. And Kotahile is the one they've marked as the biggest overs. He is first up, but also dual accepted. Their boom odds offer this weekend. They got beaten last weekend as they offered up the Bella Nipotina first or second. They're buttering up. $5 for Another Will to finish first or second this weekend with our friends at Boombet. Go and get that Boom Odds special.
That's a pretty good offer too.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy to take that. So I'm keen on Another Will. So I'll be taking $5 Another Will to finish first or second with Boombet. That is their Boom Odds special this weekend. Of course, terms and conditions apply. Go and check out Boombet now.
Don't ban me.
You're getting paid per boom.
No, I'm not.
A lot in there.
No, well, I got to do it. Apparently, it's like a social media thing. If you say boom a lot, like it's what is it? The Costco guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Apparently, one of them's wrestling soon, which is great. All right, let's get to Caulfield. Well, we'll start off with Xavier for his tips this weekend. Pegs, give us your best bet.
Yeah, best bet comes in race 4, number 1, Coleman, currently priced at $2.65 on the nose. Firm favourite, and his last win was at Caulfield earlier in the year at that sort of same grade. He's had a few cracks at Group 1 level plus, a close second to Switzerland, the Group 2 Roman Collinsall up in Sydney. Draws a nice inside barrier, quality horse. In my opinion, probably the best horse in the race. Comes up against much different company to what he's used to this prep. I see him winning.
When did the Blue Sapphire become 1,400? Just as an FYI.
Yeah, it used to be 1,200.
1,200 on the Wednesday between Guineas and Cup Day. Anyway, that's been changed. All right, don't mind the tip as well, by the way. Give us your next best.
Yeah, so next best is Two Done Lizzie, like Alex mentioned before. So that's race 7, number 1, $16 to win and $4.25 to place. Yeah, like I said, I'm just going to focus on that 1,000 Guineas prelude run. She was fantastic. I think 16 is probably a bit overs, but I think she's still a quality horse. And best value? Sorry, I beat you to it. My apologies. Race 10, number 5, extra 2. I've been pretty patient with this horse, and I think...
So Bellatrix Star goes for a spell, so you start stalking the other mare you're in love with.
Yeah, I know. I got to stop. Actually, I walked into the podcast studio this morning. I was like, I should probably give it a bit of a rest now, but nevertheless, $11 to win and $3.15 to place. Saturday is the day. It is the day she finally claims her first group win. Came very close. Second into Group 3 earlier this prep. Yeah, if she doesn't win or place, it's...
She might be in the paddock, mate.
Last time I think, yeah, this will be our last run, this prep. But yeah.
Been up for about 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Righto, Lammy. Your best bet comes up in race number 10 as well.
Yeah, I'm happy to take on Pegs here. I'm going with Neance. Excellent winning over 1,100 here on resumption. Backed up a fresh win last prep with a 3.3 length demolition job when second up last time. So no reason to suspect any sort of regression here. I think she could be a Group 1 horse in time. So I'm expecting her to put this field away.
Oakley Plate, maybe?
Possibly, yeah.
Okay.
Very nice horse.
And your next best, same stable.
Yeah, race 5, number 6, Miraval Rose. It's sort of the fresh horse on the scene, coming up against horses that have either been up for a long time or are coming off poor runs, or both.
I'm still getting over her getting beaten in this meeting last year.
Yes, she looked good in a recent trial at Cranbourne. She's shown glimpses of elite talent. She won a listed race at Caulfield last year. She beat a horse called Right to Party by 3 lengths, who we've seen more than competitive at Group 1 level. So I like Miraval Rose. I just think the other favourites, they're probably coming down the other side of the mountain, whereas Miraval Rose is the fresh horse.
Bloody tongue twister.
Yeah. And your best value comes up in the Group 1.
Yep, lovely cut for the reasons outlined earlier.
I like it. All right, Newcastle is where we are playing for the Sydney meeting this weekend.
For the New South Wales meeting, come on, mate.
It's the Sydney Metro meeting. Let's give it its just due.
The Nova Castrians will be rioting.
They'll be fine. My best bet comes up in race number 4 with number 4, Bullets High for Joe Pride and Nash. Currently $2.45 with Boom Bet. Look, I should have won last start, but came home in the second quickest last 600 of the race. We're not getting the best of runs there. Steps up to the mile and gets to the bigger, roomier track of Newcastle. Nash sticking, of course, pretty happy to back him. Also gets the nose roll first time, so hopefully lets Nash control him a little bit better. Next best comes up in the 5th, where I'm going with another National Wheeler ride here. Pippi Beach for Waller from Barrier 1. Too far back 2 starts ago at Kenzo, where she was last on the fence. And then last start when she started favourite at Rose Hill with Joey Maria on board, wobbled about, now gets Nash on board.
Joey.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
For him.
You uncultured swine.
Yeah, gets Nash on board, hopefully spurs on to straighten her up there, can stand over her. Look on the map, sits just behind the leader, so we may need a little bit of luck in the straight because she could be in the coffin, but if she does, I think she's going to be too strong to finish out there. And just to finish off with this number alliteration, it's very weird and it's just pure fluke. Race 10 at number 10, Aang Power for the best value of the day. First up from a spell, currently 11.40 and a 3.65 with a Boom Bet. Look, has a pretty decent first up record. Draws well in Barrier 1 here, but the track and distance is also 2 and 2. Three goes at Newcastle for 2 wins. So first up, you can cause a bit of surprise at above that $10 mark for the Freedmans, who are going quite well at the moment.
Should have put Jay Wow on Ang Power.
Joe Wow.
Is he still around this weekend? Or has he disappeared on us?
Don't know.
Yeah. We'll find out. I'm sure he's probably going, there's probably some international jockey challenge in Japan that he's gone to.
This is Group 1 research here.
Mate, I get told to do Newcastle. I do Newcastle. I'm not looking elsewhere. I got to do the Group 1s. That's about it. All right, let's get to the yays and nays this week. Lammy, hit us off.
Moving Thousand Guineas Day to the end of the carnival is a good call, yay or nay, Alex?
I'm with the yay. As I said earlier, I think it's good that it gives the 3-year-old fillies something else to aim up at, because when you looked at it before, it was either you had the flight stakes and then the 1,000 guineas a week later. There was really nothing for those fillies who may have missed some work or whatever. You do have they used to have that mile fillies race at Moonee Valley on Cox Plate Day. Was about it for them. So having something for them middle of November, I think it works well.
Yeah, I'm yay as well. Probably better if you don't work in racing. Certainly prolongs the spring carnival. But no, it's a very good card. Both Group 1s, plenty of depth and good betting races, plenty of different form angles as well. So I like it.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely a yay as well. I think just from a spectator's point of view, like having 2 Group 1s on the same day instead of the one. I think, what was 1,000 Guineas last one? Was it on like a Thursday or something?
Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah.
Yeah, but then they moved it to the Saturday to create that super day, and it's killed that Wednesday.
Yeah, so let's just get, to finish off the carnival nicely, 2 Group 1s on a day. I think it works perfectly.
I never minded the old Zipping Classic day this day.
Sandown, yeah.
It was always a good punting day.
At the end of his career, J-Mac will be recognised as the GOAT, yay or nay?
Yay. Like he's very close to chasing down Damien Oliver's Australian Group 1 record already. He's in his early 30s. He's got the rest of his career ahead of him if we think jockeys go into their late 40s. Yeah, absolutely. Like he'll clean up Ollie's record and then he'll go to Hong Kong and he'll try and chase Zach's record down when I think Zach's about 40 off Dougie White at the moment. So that'll be J-Mac's next goal. Imagine that.
Yeah, I'm yay. He doesn't miss on the big Group 1 days. His Flemington Carnival over the last 5 years has just been ridiculous. 11 winners this year, 10 a couple of seasons back. He's also he's bloody likeable as well. He gives a lot of time to the fans and the media. So he's going to end up the GOAT, I think.
Yeah, 100%. I'd have to agree with you. I've never seen a person celebrate a volcano eruption like Zach Burton did, and he's hoping that the plane from Sydney or Melbourne's not going to Hong Kong. He saw the eruption. He's like, go on the volcano. But also not just that, but let's see, he's done a lot in New Zealand, Australia. He's going to do it in Hong Kong. He's won a Kingston Stakes in the UK. From previous sort of interactions with the media, he's also said he wants to do more stuff in Europe as well. If he's able to dominate the circuit worldwide,
he loves going over, having that middle of the year trip to go over to Royal Ascot, and poke around there. So imagine if we're not saying anything. Imagine if something happens to either a William Buick or a Ryan Moore, and Coolmore got off Sup, James? You want to come?
Well, he said in an interview once the race he wants to win the most is the Arc de Triomphe in France.
He's won everything here. So.
But could you imagine, the bloke from the small region of Waikato, I think he's from Cambridge or whatever, or from Waikato, going over, winning the Arc? What a story that would be. Surely the directors and the producers are writing the movie script as we speak.
Yeah, there's probably a movie there by the end of his career.
Yeah.
Switzerland is the best sprinter in Australia, yay or no?
I'm going off the long runny, yay.
Oof.
I reckon he would have won the Everest if he'd run in it, and the figures and data coming out of that Coolmore Stud Stakes win back it all up. Hopefully we get to see him for a little bit longer. I seriously doubt it. I reckon we'll see him in the Lightning Stakes, the TJ, and then he'll be off to Royal Ascot.
I'm Neigh. As they say, Alex, one swallow doesn't make a summer. It was the best sprint win of the spring in terms of the facts and figures and data, but I think you have to put together a block of elite performances to be labelled the best. I mean, Bella's been doing it against the best for a sustained period, and before her it was Imperatriz. So he's not the best yet, but he might be.
Yeah, I'm going to say yay, but I have to agree with you on that in the sense that Bella's, she's having her time now, but Switzerland, so exciting, 3-year-old. Let's say Switzerland does head off to Royal Ascot. I'd say after that, are they going to look? They'll look to have him as a staying one.
Oh, yeah. Well, the thing is, he's won the Coolmore, so he's worth plenty here.
So he's probably got the same amount of time left in his career than Bella, maybe.
Yeah. Well, if he wins, a Lightning Stakes, then something else, and then goes to Royal Ascot and wins the one on the Saturday, the 1,200 metre race.
Then he's off to be a Hugh Hefner for the rest of his life.
Yeah, he's worth probably 88,000 first season in Australia.
First season, you reckon 88 grand?
Well, if he wins, what?
Yeah, no,
if
makes
he wins
sense.
3 Group 1s in Australia and 1 over in Ascot.
Yeah.
With his breeding, he's worth that.
I'd say at least that.
Yeah.
because Home Affairs was that in his first year, wasn't he? Or was he 100?
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. So if he's better than Home Affairs, he's probably worth that.
No, fair.
Speaking of money, the reported $2 million for Vauban is over. This yay or nay?
Well, if you're Richie or Richie Rich as he is now, you're just doing backflips. You're like, this is great. Look, he's had 2 runs in Australia and he's flamed up in both of them. But if you consider what people pay for yearlings and you don't know what you're going to get, with Vauban, he's going to Gay in Australian bloodstock. He's probably going to be first up in some 2,000 metre race worth some money. You're running in something else. You're running the Tancred, possibly the Sydney Cup. Maybe goes to Brisbane for a Q22. I can see why they've paid $2 million for him. No chance in hell would I be buying in.
Yeah, it seems crazy overs to me. I mean, he's a 7-year-old gelding, 2 big flops over here, and from what we've seen, there's no guarantee that he's going to replicate his European form.
And he's going to Gay, who's going to fire him up and send him forward.
It's a pretty big punt.
Yeah.
How many Grand Annuals do you need, Warrnambool Grand Annuals do you need to win to pay off $2 million?
Yeah, what's a maiden hurdle at Warrnambool worth?
Coleraine.
Not much.
No, I think, I'm with you guys. Definite overs here. We haven't actually seen that he can race on an Australian surface. And plus, he's had heavy preps prior to this.
Yeah.
So what if he's not up for it?
Look, Australian bloodstock, they seemingly get these ones right more often than they
exactly.
miss. With the high-profile ones, Protectionist flamed up after he won a Melbourne Cup.
Yeah.
He won the Melbourne Cup, and then he went back to Europe and won a Group 1 there. So
Was that in Germany?
yeah, he won another Group 1 in Germany, and then obviously Lucas
Not
Cranach.
the Von Bern Classic?
No, not that one. We're never talking about that race ever again. But yeah, big punt.
You know what? Good luck to him.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Hey.
Yeah, there we go. Good luck to him.
I wouldn't be buying in. But anyway, that is us done and dusted this week on Hold All Tickets. We will be back, not next week. We've got a week off next week, which is with our contractual obligations we are hitting. So we're taking next week off. I am away during the week as well, so that also adds to it as well. So we'll be back in 2 weeks for our next Hold All Tickets. Of course, we are brought to you by BoomBet. Great fixed odds, more value and more boom moments. Sign up today and get in on the boom. Head to punters.com.au to check out all the written previews that the boys have done, as well as all the copy going up around the grounds at the moment. Thank you, Xavier.
Cheers, boys.
Jeez, you had to think about that one. Thanks, Lammy.
Enjoy your time off.
Yeah,
well
thanks.
deserved.
Yeah, a couple of weeks and then off to Hong Kong.
Oh.
Off to Hong Kong.
Off to
Oh,
Hong
what are you doing in
Kong.
Hong Kong?
Yeah, a bit of a junket, let's be honest. But of course, check out AFL Today, AFLW Today, NFL Australia, and everything else that we do here at Punters, of course, the Group 1 in a minute, the Group 1 previews. And something else we've just started off doing is little previews for Victorian racing throughout the week as well. 3 of us will be rotating through them as the season goes on. Thanks to new producer Gerald for doing it behind the screens this week, as homie is away for a month and a half in Japan. He flew first class to Japan.
My
he lives a
man.
good life.
My man.
What an absolute legend. All right, we are done and dusted. We'll catch you next week on Hold All Tickets.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.